These are leftover pieces from the t-shirt projects and also from some earlier projects. So now I've been thinking of combining these to make something, and what I've been thinking about is either this, it's a tunic and it looks nice, but this one looks also nice and has a simpler pattern. So I think it's gonna be a decision between these two. Haven't decided yet, but I really need to decide first before I start tracing the patterns, because it's a lot of work, so I don't want to do it for both. Actually, I could do that. Just trace both of these patterns, because I'll probably end up doing both of these, one now and the other one at some later date. I have now copied the hoodie dress pattern. This is back and this is front, and there's here a line which says that it should be cut from here, but that's because it was two colors, and I'm going to make one piece for front and one for back, because I'm going to combine different fabrics, small pieces into the entire front and the back, and then just cut these out of the, make a rectangle shape and then cut these pieces out of that. And I have added the seam allowances in all of these pieces. This is the sleeve. That was also two colors, so here are these lines separating the parts, but I have kept it in one piece for the same reason as the front and back. But I have drawn these lines here anyway, because if I want to make that two color thing later, then I have the lines here already. All I need to do is cut from here and add seam allowances by just gluing strips of pattern paper into the edges and drawing the seam allowances. And then there's the hoodie. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be, but well, it belongs to the design and it may look nice with the hoodie. I'm really more of either a tall collar or just a round neckline, but I'll try this time. And then there's the front pocket. There's a fold here, so and this part will fold underneath. So that's the pocket. And the way I'm going to combine the fabrics, I have here two strips I'm going to use for cutting the fabric pieces. I'm going to put them this way, sort of slanted, not horizontal, not vertical, this way. And then, is it diagonal, or does diagonal mean 45-degree angle? I'm not sure. Anyway, this isn't quite 45-degree angle, because I think this looks nicer. And I have two of these because I'm going to use as much of those leftover pieces as possible, and they are not all big enough to cut this wide pieces. So I'm going to combine wider and narrower strips, and it's not going to be the same fabric all the way. It's going to be small pieces, combining them first and then cutting the edges to get a strip like this, and then making sure it's long enough. I think these are a bit too short, because I was checking these here it needs to go over the edge a bit, just to make sure that you cut the edge neat. And if I fold it here where the back is folded, then yeah, it doesn't quite kill. It needs 3 centimeters more, but that's not a problem. I'll probably, when I sew the pieces together, these strips are going to end up longer than this anyway, and then maybe I just won't trim them until I'm in this stage of cutting this piece. It doesn't matter if the edges are uneven, as long as they go well over the edges of the pattern. Was there anything else? Oh yes, there was. I was thinking, I have this fabric I used for the pink shirt, and I was thinking that although those fabrics I'm going to use, there's dark red, orange, pink, a bit of purple, and mostly black and blue, I'm going to make the hood from this fabric, and also the sleeve cuffs and the front pocket. I think that would probably look nice. In any case, I want to make those pieces of single fabric, so the other parts will be made of pieces, but these two and the sleeve cuffs will be the same fabric and only one, and this is the plan for now, and we'll see if the plan changes along the way. Here I have the magazine. This is quite new, issue 122, and here's the instructions for the hooded dress. And I was looking at this as I was copying the patterns, because I needed to just check what I was looking for on that pattern sheet, and it's easier. Of course, I have the numbers here, which one is which, but it's always easy to check the shape of the pieces, so you can be sort of make sure you're looking at the right lines and going along the right lines, and not starting to go along the lines of some other pattern. But as I was looking at this, I noticed that there is a problem with this part, and I'm going to explain that next. So most of the instructions I have seen for patterns, they include this guide on how to place the patterns on the fabric, and this is extremely wasteful if you put the patterns like shown here, because you are left with 2 pieces of this size of fabric, and what you want is as large a single piece as possible. You want to maximize the size of the leftover fabric, so this doesn't work. And I have here, I made these, let's see, we'll take it like this. So here, let's say this is the guide there, where you have the, so you put them like this, and this is 2 pieces left over. But if you take the fabric, these are the edges, and you fold it like this, you just fold it here, and then you measure distance here and distance here, and maybe in the middle. It needs to be the same distance in all the places, so you know the grain line is straight. And then you fold the other one, and then you put the pieces like this. Okay, you can't see that probably. Let's put it this way. So the fold in the pattern. It's now on the fold, and here you can see you're left with a much larger single piece. And actually, if you want to be really strict with this, you put this here so it fits here, and then you check, okay, this is where I need to fold the fabric. Then you fold it here, again measuring, making sure the grain line is straight, and then you put the pattern here, and now you get even less unusable leftovers. So this is, you maximize the amount of fabric that's usable, that's left over. And what else was there really? And yeah, here you have these smaller pieces, and you don't need to cut everything at once. Like in here, you put this here, and you can cut this first, and then you can take the smaller pieces and you can just either cut them from here if it's a good width, but if not, you can fold it even narrower and then cut here. Just don't cut so that you get huge amounts of leftovers that are not really usable later. Just really make sure, like in here, the edge is here, so in this case it probably just would cut away the part of the edge that you really don't want to show in the fabric, because it has those small holes in it, and it looks different than the rest of the fabric, so you want to cut that off. But otherwise, as narrow fold as possible. So then you cut this, and then let's see, you can, the next one you can either fold it here or you can fold it from the other edge here. In any way, you get larger part here in the middle, and then the entire width here in the lower part of the fabric. Here you're going to really spoil the leftover parts of the fabric. It's not going to be as usable as it is when you just fold the fabric like this. This is the pattern for the tunic. I have finished these, so I can make that when I feel like it. I'm not quite sure when and in what order I'm going to make these clothes, but then I also copied the pattern for this one, just a simple shirt, and I think that would be nice. And in fact, I still have one of those t-shirts left, and I'm going to use the original pattern I had for them, but I was thinking that I could actually copy the color from this, so it would be that high color that's in this shirt. That could be nice. It really depends on how stretchy the fabric is I ordered for that last t-shirt. So once I get the fabric, I'll decide if I'm going to use this or the original pattern. And then this I have some of that wool fabric I used for the coat. I still have it left enough, I think, for this one. I haven't copied the pattern yet, but I think I'll do that as well. And I could make this for when the weather starts getting warmer and more wet, so I could use this under the all-weather jacket coat I got. It's sort of not raincoat, it holds water and wind but still breathes, so it's better than a raincoat, but it's not warm as it's fairly thin and just single layer, so this could be nice underneath and doesn't look too complicated. And I think the wool fabric, the full wool blend, would work nicely with this one. So maybe I'll try this as well at some point. But now at the moment I have all the patterns I need, and I think this is going to be the end of this video, and I'll make separate videos for making the actual garments.